Hello, I am in my new house, so it's a little bit different in the background, and today is World Music Friday, so we are heading to Brazil again because this person came up in the comments so much. Apparently it is a classic, iconic Brazilian artist who brought funk and soul to Brazil.
De esperar terminou e o amor veio enfim. Eu que sempre sonhei, mas não acreditei muito em mim.
So warm and
Vi o tempo passar, o inverno
I
chegar.
love the panning
Outra
the strings.
vez, mas desta vez todo pranto sumiu, como encanto surgiu meu amor. Você é mais do que sei, é mais que pensei. É mais que esperava, baby. Você é algo assim, é tudo pra mim. É como eu sonhava, baby. Sou feliz agora. Não vá embora, não.
wow. Those dynamics are so incredible, and the different tonal qualities he can use in his voice. I thought at the start that perhaps he's quite breathy, so it wasn't that resonant, but when that resonance kicked in, holy moly, it had so much warmth and power and depth to it. That is down to his anatomy. I don't think that is down to his training or his practice, although he might lean into a sound that he naturally already has. Yeah, wow, I'm speechless. I want to go back, as I normally do, and break down little moments because there are some really interesting things that he's doing.
De repente a dor de esperar terminou e o amor veio enfim.
I've got the lyrics up here, so don't worry. I can actually see them even though it's not in the video. I love the breath here. He's not putting his vocal cords together fully, and it almost sounds as if his voice is breaking and cracking from emotion. He is definitely an artist that leans more into the expression of emotion rather than perfection. I prefer that. I think it feels more human. I think it is more authentic and real, and I'm drawn into this amazing sound that really personifies the lyric.
Eu que sempre sonhei, mas não acreditei muito em mim.
That note is like the little precursor for like, aha, look, I have a lot of resonance. The way that he goes from the really breathy tone where his vocal cords aren't together fully, he's allowing a lot of air to leak through, to his vocal cords coming together. But the real important thing is that he's managing his breath that low, because what often happens is we kind of dig in and people do this and try and get down to that low note. He's just allowing it to drop, and he's not pushing down into that note, and he's not pushing the air through. He's being quite gentle and finding that resonant spot. And what I often get people to do is put their hands here and go, oh, and just feel that sound drop into their chest. You could find this buzzy, brilliant sound.
Vi o tempo passar, o inverno chegar.
The drums remind me of trip hop.
Mas desta vez todo pranto sumiu, como encanto surgiu meu amor.
Oh, that brass line is so perfect because it just lifts his voice more. It's hard because I can't see him there, but I imagine he's really dropping his jaw, creating a massive space at the back. Oh, what feels like a massive space to him, it might not actually be. That's an interesting thing about singing. Sometimes it feels like we're doing something and that isn't what anatomically is happening, but for a singer it's important to find what it feels like because we cannot see that anatomy all the time.
Sumiu, como encanto surgiu, meu amor.
Does a lot of this like flip up to falsetto or head voice, and it's really falsetto-y and it has that hooty, light, breathy sound. I'm also noticing again that falsetto isn't 100% on pitch. This is normal. Even our great singers do this. What is wonderful about this is that little flip up to that falsetto. It adds contrast. It adds emotion, more tender and beautiful. That vibrato as well. Again, not perfect pitch. The way that he's using vibrato as well, there's so much going on. Sometimes it's so strong and assured, and it almost has the operatic open feel. Here, it has a little bit of tremolo with it, a little bit of kind of this broken, uneven sound, and it sounds fragile. This falsetto's nice. You see what I mean? The imperfections add the charm. It feels weird actually for me to focus in on them so much because there's so much that is actually really, really perfect in this. But it is important because I think we're so wrapped up in what singing should be, and I think it can be whatever you want it to be. You might want to be someone who makes sure they're on pitch all the time, and if that speaks to you, that's great. But if you're someone who doesn't really care about that and really loves music like this and just really cares about the emotion, sing like that. We're all individual humans. There's only your way, and your way is beautiful because you're an individual, unique person. I think that's so magical. Now, one of the things that made Tim one of the biggest singers in Brazil is he, along with his co-writer Cassiano, brought funk and soul to Brazil, combining that funky soul sound with a lot of those Brazilian rhythms. É mais do que sei, é mais que pensei. I love the orchestration. You can't help but move, right? The way that he goes from this big moment that you just cannot help but move along to, and then suddenly you're taken on these waves of emotion. How did Tim get into music in the first place? Well, he was the second youngest of 19 children, and he began playing and writing songs at age 8. He actually first started out as a drummer. orchestration for this is so perfect. Boom, boom. That big breast stab. Boom, 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 boom. That walking bass line that brings you back down to reality after these massive high notes. I don't know who did the orchestration for this, but I love it. It feels like it's live as well. I'm gonna listen to this end section, but what I'm loving about this is this feeling of it being live, like he's really improvising. Sounds like he took the most emotional take rather than making the perfect take. He took the most perfectly emotional take. What a beautiful voice, an emotional voice, and a pleasure to hear another beautiful Brazilian artist. Before you go, I have released my very own album. It's called Fable. It's a Strait of Darkness into Light, and I would love it if you could go check it out. There are some of the songs available here on YouTube, including a world choir from 131 nations. There's a song that includes that. It's called Lead Me from the Forest, and the CD is available from my website bethroars.com, or vinyl actually. Alright, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please do like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.